Dear students of class 8A and 8B, the following points, as I mentioned in the board, the points will be clarified with various examples. The points which I mentioned in the board will be clarified with various examples. Now, I am starting. Please look at the points. First point, exploitation and economic disparity. Second point, emergence of new ideologies. Third point, imperialism. Fourth point, colonialism. Point number 5, reasons for imperialism. First point, exploitation and economic disparity. You know, Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution was marked by mass employment. It was marked by mass employment. What is the meaning of it? Whenever the Industrial Revolution started, a number of people were recruited, were temporarily appointed in the factories and industries for the help of productive goods, for the process of producing goods from the factories and industries. And working hours, naturally, working hours also extended to about 14 hours. And 14 hours, but 14 hours a day. And the workers had to work day to night, and they were forced to provide hard labor with less pay. Hard labor, but with less pay. And women and children also were forced to work in the factories and industries with less pay, because they are knowledge, because they are experienced, they are non-experienced workers. That's why their condition also became very miserable, and they they lived in the unhealthy atmosphere. But and apart from this, the workers, especially women, children, they were forced to work in collieries and cotton and textile industries. And a group of people who invested huge amount of money, especially the capitalists, they made huge wealth at the cost of these cheap laborers. And ultimately, they further invested more and more money in industries and factories, and they all became factory owners. And next point, emergence of new ideologies. Emergence of new ideologies. Emergence of new ideologies. The capitalist, emerged. They invested money and made it double. But at the same time, the new ideologies also was formed. New ideologies also were formed because of the political thinkers and philosophers. A number of political philosophers and thinkers were born to protect the interests of the workers. And after many years of humiliations, by the industrialists, by the capitalists, by the money lenders, this group of people now were saved by the political thinkers and philosophers, who now decided to protect the interests and rights of the factory workers. Who are they? They were Karl Marx, they were Friedrich Engels. They, introduced the new political concepts, socialism and communism. They decided to protect the interests of the factory workers, and also advocated a classless society in which the means of production would be collectively owned by everyone. That not that much income which would be earned by the factory owners, capitalists, would be decentralized. It would be centralized. the amount of money which would be invested by the factory owners, money lenders, capitalists, that would be decentralized. That means the amount of money through a classless society collectively owned by everyone. So, next point number 3, imperialism. Point number 3, imperialism. What is imperialism? The Industrial Revolution led the way to acquire lands of different parts of Asia, Europe, and Africa. Why? Because of the natural resources. The European industrialists, the European capitalists, the European traders felt that Asia was one of the most important continents of the world, had huge natural resources, should be utilized properly. Their natural resources should be utilized properly, and it could not be impossible to them, since militarily the Asian continents were weak than European continent. Militarily, the European continent, countries of European continent were inferior to the superior countries of Europe. That's why they should be occupied. How? By declaring war, by defeating them. So the European countries, they marched forward and defeated the Asian countries of Asian cities of Asian countries, and then they occupied their territories in order to utilize their natural resources for their factories and industries. So by this way, the policy of imperialism helped them to acquire many territories of Asia and Africa. So this concept of acquiring lands, occupying territories, is known as imperialism. This imperialistic policy encouraged many European countries, and afterwards they all one by one occupied territories of Asia and Africa. These territories, as a result of it, these territories which were occupied by the European masters, European traders, manufacturers, European money lenders, capitalists, led them to acquire territories not only in Asia but in Africa also, and the continents which were rich in natural resources but weak in military power, they were occupied by these imperialist countries. Now, imperialism was a system. What is the meaning of imperialism? What is the concrete definition of imperialism? Imperialism was a system where powerful countries, powerful nations, occupied the weak and underdeveloped countries, and European countries increased their power over new territories of Asia and Africa. These territories became the colonies of the industrialized countries. By the end of the 19th century, many territories of the Asian and African continents came under the control of the colonial powers such as Great Britain, such as Germany, France, Spain, Italy, and Belgium. So these were the European countries. They occupied many territories and made it their colonies. In order to meet the demand of their factories, they utilized their natural resources. Hence, the concept. Another point, colonialism. What is the meaning of colonialism? My dear students, the concept of imperialism formed another concept that is colonialism. First, imperialism means I am superior to you, you are inferior to us. I defeated you and occupied your territory. I am superior to you, you are inferior to us. I shall occupy your territory and establish our reign over there. This policy is known as imperialistic policy, and the concept's name is imperialism. But colonialism, since I have occupied your territories, I have defeated you, so I became your ruler, and I take all advantages from your territories. Your territory, you will never use the term your territory, my territory. It belongs to my territory. Since I have occupied it, and until I shall be there, you will be forced to hear us. You will be forced to abide by the rules and regulations introduced by us. So this technique, this process, this method is known as colonialism. That means I have occupied this territory, so it's all natural resources. Who will utilize? Who will enjoy? Only them. Only they will enjoy who occupied it, and who would be unable to enjoy it, who are inferior to others. So only inferior and weak countries, weak nations will be forced to accept the rule of their masters who are superior to them. This technique, this method of rule is known as colonialism. This concept is known as colonialism. So many European countries established their colonies in Asia and Africa, in different countries of Asia and Africa, one by one, and utilize its natural resources in order to meet growing demand, in order to meet the growing demand of their factories and industries, my dear students. So next point, reasons for imperialism. Reasons for imperialism. What is the meaning of reasons for imperialism? You know, during industrial age, scientific discoveries of different machines and establishment of factories and industries had become a common factor. And it is due to their reason, only the revolutionaries, only the production revolutionized shipbuilding. That means it came a revolution in the field of production. Various types of things the countries started producing. These countries were, as I mentioned earlier, Britain, Italy, France, Germany, and Soviet Union, America, and so on. But the thing is that there came a remarkable development in the field of transportation, in the field of shipbuilding. The industrialized European countries needed cheap labor and a steady supply of raw materials for their production, and in order to meet the growing demand of their factories and industries, such as raw materials, such as oil, rubber, and manganese for steel production, for steel industries. And the fervor of nationalism also made rival European countries compete with each other, and ultimately the new colonies. There came a fierce competition among the European countries for establishing their colonies in different parts of Asia and Europe, my dear, Asia and Africa, my dear students. The industrialized countries also needed territories where they could invest their money, where they could invest their surplus capital. Hence, by the late 19th and 20th centuries, many of the industrialized nations developed trade relations with the nations developed trade and relations with distant lands of Asia and Africa, my dear students, which were rich in resources. It is due to the efforts of the people of the Europe, Asia and Africa. The common people, the mass, were forced to work under the influence of their masters at a very less pay. But the moneylenders, as I mentioned earlier, the moneylenders, the capitalists, the rich people utilized, misused the power, misused misused this mass as cheap laborers, and at the cost of themselves, they all became rich, prosperous, and wealthy. Up to this, my dear students, next day, the remaining part will be continued. Then I shall start a new lesson. I shall start teaching a new lesson. Thank you.